Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today it's time for coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. Coffee and conversations with the BizChicks. Hi, we got my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. She is in the house, and we are excited because every time we have a conversation with Fran, we always learn something. So, and we walk away better for it. Fran, how you doing this morning?
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for watching live and on the replay. Okay, you ready?
Hey, everyone. And I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, in case you haven't been watching. And so we're going to get this party started. What's up today, Fran?
Well, it's time for us to go back to basics. You
Ah,
know, um, we go back to school, and that's a good thing. I like the idea of taking time out to work on your education, to work on things, to make adjustments, because we talked about making adjustments for the season. This is a
mm-hmm,
season for getting back to the basics of business.
mm-hmm.
Why are you doing business in the first place? And
Oh,
I know people talk about beginning with your why, and yes, you should begin with your why. But if you don't know, then maybe that's one place to start is talking about why you're in business in the first place. Why did you decide to take your cookies public?
mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Right? So just reevaluating the reason why you do what you do to
mm-hmm.
make sure you're still on track, to make sure that it's still a viable vision for you. I wanted when I was coming up, I wanted a Toyota Celica,
Ah,
right? Well, do I still want the Toyota Celica? No, that vision has changed.
mm,
And so some things in your business may have
uh-huh.
changed, right?
Yes.
So, and then it's okay to change your mind. I read that once somewhere that it is okay to change your mind. If things are not going the way that you want or something has changed, you can change your mind.
It's okay. And my thing is, a girl's always got to have options. And the options are there for the taking.
Mhm. So, in going back to basics in your business, we're going to look at some points and we're not going to hold you long because you know how we do. So, the first point is your customer needs. This
Mm,
is going back to basic. Make sure you're meeting the real needs of your customers.
okay. So now, how do you find out what their real needs are? Might want to ask. Because
You you
you
don't
may
like
be,
marshmallow cookies?
or you're tired of marshmallow cookies, you'd like something new. The Girl Scouts do this all the time. They take away some of my favorite flavors. I mean, I'll come back next year. Oh, we've had that for a couple of years, and we decided to try blah blah. You know what I mean?
You
They
you
will
you
switch
can't.
up on you to keep it interesting.
But they took away the thing that got you to them, the reason
Mhm.
that you went to them. So don't take away your customer's reason for doing business with you. I was talking to someone and they were like, "Well, we're considering what we can do to expand the business." And the question came to mind, do you have to expand the business?
Oh,
Do
well.
you have to get bigger? Because getting bigger means you need more resources, means you need to do. So if you're a mom and pop store, like I
Mhm.
can think of there's a little pop-up Mexican eatery that pops up in the area here. They
Uh-huh.
just have the tent. They got the burners or whatever the stove things, and they pop up, pull out the stove, and cook the food, and people can just drive up, walk up, and get authentic
Mhm.
food Do you
Okay.
really need to go to brick and mortar?
Ah,
Because
see,
it's working, right? It's
yeah.
work. Whatever you're doing is working. People are paying you. You're taking the money is coming in. Everything is working. So, do you really need to expand from that? Well, we
Hmm.
make more money. Well, perhaps you can figure out a way to cut your costs
Ah, okay.
instead of expanding and trying to make it uh, do more. You know what I mean? There's a reason why people are downsizing on different things, right? People are downsizing and not necessarily upsizing right now. Do you need all them what do they call the cubicles all in the office? Do you need all them cubicles now that people are working from home? And Terry, so
And you probably don't need all that real estate either.
no. So you end the lease
Mm-hmm.
because can you do this in a smaller footprint? Can you do what you need to do without incurring more cost?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And okay, so talking about meeting the real needs of your customers, we came to you because you're really good at chocolate chip cookies with walnuts.
There you go.
Don't start adding sprinkles and stuff and didn't take a poll.
Wow.
You did not take a poll on whether or not we want sprinkles in the cookies
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or changing the formula, Coca-Cola. Remember when they came out back in the day with New Coke?
And they had the new oh, it was terrible.
And people told everybody was like, no, what are you doing? Don't do
Don't
New
mess with
Coke.
the classics. I have noticed now, I like fashion. And I noticed that on the Emmy Awards, one of the best gowns was black and had a traditional sheath shape. You know what I'm saying? It was just a basic dress
Yep,
with an embellishment. Don't mess with the classics. It's like trying to redo a blazer. A blazer is always going to be a blazer and it's always going to be, you know what I mean, something that people will buy. You might
right,
put shoulder pads in it. You might take the shoulder pads out. You might make it double breasted. You might make it single breasted. You might make it skinny. You might make it short, crop it, whatever, but it's still a blazer.
right. And ask your customer what they want. Just gonna do some stuff. People come to people. People are coming to you because there's something that you do that they can't get somewhere else or they don't want to get somewhere else, and
Mm-hmm.
you need to stick to your roots and or if you're thinking about making a change, talk to the customer first.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading about this whole concept of why are you making the change? Because you're bored.
Oh, there's a point.
Right. You're bored, but your customers have come to know you and come to realize that you will be at that location at that time with the doors open. And, that's just like going into, okay, Starbucks has the same coffees. And in this season, they're going to do the pumpkin spice. You know that this season they're going to have the apple cider. And you know what you're going to get when you drive through the line. They don't have that long line for no reason early in the morning, everybody driving through, getting their coffee or walking in or sitting in the patio or coming and bringing their computers in and sitting down because they're getting their favorite latte with their breakfast sandwich. Now they'll introduce some new breakfast sandwiches and may take away something else, but I believe that it's because it didn't sell, not just because, oh, let's try something new. You can still get a cup of black coffee at Starbucks.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Just straight coffee. You don't have to have the caramel macchiatos and the da 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 da. You can get a cup of just a basic cup of coffee. Okay, and then they put that basic cup of coffee with a breakfast sandwich and gave it to you for $6 instead of you now paying $5 for the coffee and other six or five or something dollars for the sandwich. And now that would have been 11, but you can get a basic cup of coffee, put your own cream in it,
Hmm.
and get a breakfast sandwich.
Yes, and they made it convenient for you so you didn't have to make another stop to get a sandwich. You could do both at the same location.
Right.
I wonder how they came up with that. Did they poll the customer or did they keep hearing the customer say, oh, now I got to go across the street to get my sandwich?
And they are still doing what the customer asked. We talk about In and Out Burger a lot. In and Out does exactly what the customer asks, and they have been doing it the same way for a lot of years, since the
You know
70s.
what was really interesting was during the pandemic, they didn't have to change because they were coming to your car and taking your order before that.
Right. So they knew how to do that model with the little computer, walk
How
to
to
your
keep the
door.
line moving. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they knew how to do that a long time ago. I believe back in the day they might have been on skates, but they just knew how. They had them people walk out there. They had coats on when it was cold, and they came to your. It's the and you're getting the same thing: a double burger, triple burger, single burger, burger with cheese, fries. Now you can get the fries animal style. You can get your burger. What do they call it? Keto style with just the lettuce. Um, you could have gotten your burger any kind of way. That's the only way, rather, that you're going to get a burger at In and Out. They only have burgers, hamburgers, not bison, not turkey, not anything. You know what you're going to get. And they're making sure that they meet the real needs of their customers who are hungry, wants burgers and fries at affordable price. That's what they do. Um, Another customer need that we may need to make sure that we another basic that we need to go back to is cash flow. Okay, here's the deal. Track every dollar.
I am so guilty of this. I need to do better tracking.
Right. Track every dollar, simplify finances, and reduce unnecessary expenses.
Mm.
What are you purchasing and buying and doing that you don't need to be purchasing, buying, and doing? Um, if it's an expense that you need to have, fine, but simplify it. Track every dollar. Is that dollar bringing in another dollar?
Mm. That's a good question.
If I spend this
Excuse
right
me.
here, will it
That's Go
will
ahead.
it bring in future dollars?
Hmm.
I know in the business world that calls and that's a return on investment, but I'm wanting to know, if I spend this dollar right here,
Mm.
what will this dollar that I'm spending, or this $5 that I'm spending, do for me in the future?
Mm. That is an excellent question.
Mm.
Is it a good investment? Wow. Track
Um,
every dollar, simplify finances, and reduce, oh my gosh, unnecessary expenses. Some of us have so much inventory that all our profit is in our inventory. Okay, you have a business that might bring in a couple of $1,000s a month, but you went out and bought a $35,000 printer.
So
Yeah.
that printer needs to be printing out some stuff that's gonna bring that
You know what I'm
35,000
saying?
back.
It needs to pay for itself. It needs to be out there working.
Right. It really does. Um, man, just and when you said about your inventory making money, I'm thinking about this is what people do at garage sales. That's why places like Facebook Marketplace and um, other Poshmart and some other places pop up, is because that you can take something that you no longer need,
Mm.
even
Mhm.
if it's in your business, and you can offer it up, and maybe somebody else needs that computer. You're not using it the way you thought you would.
Mhm.
Maybe you don't need two printers. Maybe you don't need some things that another business could use or
Maybe
home.
you have so much paper that you'll never get to it before it really starts to get, you know, start to smell or start just old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get rid
So
of it.
So if you are not, so here's one thing, you know how you buy a box that has 10 reams of paper? Okay,
Yes.
we are not in that realm anymore because most of the stuff is digital. So can you donate that to a school where the kids can have something to write on and play,
And
do
draw. Mhm.
origami or something, instead of just having the boxes of paper sitting in your corner?
Yep. And taking up room. Clutter takes up oxygen from your creativity. It's your mind. I don't care what you say. Your mind is always thinking, well, what about that stuff over in the corner?
Right,
That
because you're
stuff
like, oh,
still in the corner.
I gotta do something about that. As you
Mhm.
sidestep it and step over it or step around it or whatever, you don't have a clear path to where you wanna be or where you wanna go because you're sidestepping stuff that should not be in your space.
Exactly.
So you can donate it, give it away, do something with it. Mark says, "Clean those closets."
Amen.
Right. I mean, 'cause clothes in the closet, you're not wearing.
You're not.
Okay, so what is in your business closet? What clothes are in your business closet that you're not wearing?
Oh gosh. Or have you changed your lifestyle? If you're retired, are you wearing more active wear versus suits? Versus, you know what I mean? Um, if your business has changed, if you're now doing more golfing, making more contacts on the golf course, you need the right equipment. But do you still need the badminton equipment if you're not playing
Or the
badminton
tennis
anymore?
or the tennis rack or the
Mhm.
bicycle, things that you thought, again, at the top of the program, we said it's okay to change your mind.
Mhm.
It's okay to make a different choice, go a different direction. But do you need to keep the stuff and the equipment from the old direction with
I,
you?
I think this is one of the things that we hesitate to do in terms of getting back to basics because we're always concerned, I may need that someday. You know, by the time you need it, you need to buy something that's updated anyway.
Right.
Let it go while people can still use it.
Mark said, nature abhors a vacuum. When you clear the way, you open the door for more. Okay, so there's a lot of people talking about the door being open in 24, but
Mhm.
not if you blocked it with
You can't
stuff.
even get in. There's so much stuff in there. It's sort of like, okay, let's picture this. It's sort of like when you open up a storage unit and the stuff is packed from the bottom to the top of the rafter. And so you can open the door,
But
but can you really get any more in?
or can you even get to whatever it was that's in the open door
Do you
because
remember what was back there?
you got to pull stuff out. And Mark says, if you want greater prosperity, you must make room for it.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
that includes in your mind. This includes in your business, your office. if you want to think more clearly. So that you should see white space or brown space, depending on what your desk color is. You should
Mm-hmm.
have some space on there. Now, you shouldn't freak out if you happen to be working on a project and you got something on the desk. It's fine, but it shouldn't be that stuff just lives there.
Especially if your desk is off to the side in your bedroom. Can you imagine? You wake up, you see it. You go to bed, you see it. And it's sort of like, I'm over
Right.
here.
And and
Don't rest.
and,
I'm still here.
and people want to know why people stress out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're trying to pinpoint stress, because I was like, where I don't feel like I'm stressed,
Mm-hmm.
but if your environment is overrun, or and you're still trying to figure out where to put stuff and stuff is out of order, that's stressing you out, even though you don't recognize that it's stressing. Your body is still going, okay, I still see it. I still see it. I got to do something about that. Okay, I can get to that one day. It's like somebody nagging you to do something and you're already working on something, but it's still nagging you. When you going to do this? When you going to get to me? When? And it's stressing you out, because if a person did that to you, you probably snap, like, get away from me.
And do we read this remark from Mark about the mind?
He said the same is true for the mind. If your head is filled with nonsense, creative inspiration will be stalled.
There you go.
So today we are talking about getting back to basics in your business. So we talked about make sure that you're meeting the real needs of your customers. Make sure that your cash flow is under control, yet you're tracking every dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were in that vein, we were talking about unnecessary expenses, which also
Unnecessary
led to
inventory.
unnecessary stuff that's hanging around you. Get rid of
Mm-hmm.
it. Um, and redefine what you're good at,
Oh.
instead of trying to be the new latest and greatest. Going back to basics. What do
Mm-hmm.
you do well? And concentrate on that. Play to your A game. Mm. What's your A game? If you're a three-point shooter, stop trying to go down the hole and and try and do layups and stuff. Just stay out there on
Do
the
so.
perimeter and shoot the
Mhm.
shot. Let them give you the ball over there and you take that shot, because that's what you do.
Let me say this. Don't get tired of taking the best shot for you. If that's
And
your play it until you wear it out if it's winning for you.
right. So we don't want our best players doing something that's not in their repertoire, that's not them, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want Steph Curry taking shots. I mean, going, like I said, running down the hole and dribbling down in the middle to do stuff. Yeah, he can, but he's better halfway off the court taking a shot and shooting it. Let everybody play their best position. And we're talking about identifying what are your core products or services. Refine what you are best at instead of expanding to try and accommodate somebody else. Didn't they do this with Macy's and Gimbal? Macy's and Gimbal were two stores, and if Macy's did not have what the customer wanted because they weren't good at that, they would send them over to somebody who was good at that, which may
Mm-hmm.
have been Gimbal. We don't carry that product here, but here, if you go over to da 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 da, people don't want to do that now. They want to be a jack of all trades. We want to do everything
We
and
want
be
to keep
good at it.
everybody right in this building.
But that's not good for you, because you're not good at everything. Don't
You're
come to
not
me.
Costco's. Don't try to be Costco's.
Don't try to come to me for everything. Don't come to me. I'm not doing your hair. Now I'll help you with your website. I'll help you get your domain name set up and all that kind of stuff. But don't come to me trying to. I can't do your hair. That's
Yeah.
not my
And,
my go-to.
and here's the thing: if you're in transition, if you're trying to figure out what is your next move, just be still. You
And
don't have to make a move every day.
no, and if you are trying to figure out your next move should only include the things that you are good at. Don't try and okay, I'm gonna learn learn how to do microscopic surgery. No, no, that's not you.
Yeah.
Do what you're good at.
Do you boo?
Mhm.
Mm. And do what makes you smile, because
Right.
you'll stick with it. If it doesn't make you smile, now it's just work.
And
You
you're
know
gonna
what
mess up and somebody's gonna pay the price.
Yep.
Mark said, if you're feeling apathetic, lost, or uninspired, come to me. I will give you the booty boost that you need. I think he means the kick in the
Kick in
pants.
the pants.
Yeah, because some people are feeling a little lost. They are
Mhm.
feeling like, especially when you see everybody seemingly do whatever it is that they do,
Mhm.
and it seems like everybody's doing this, and
And
you're
here's
looking
the
around.
thing too. Some things that you're offered money to do, you may want to pray over that, because is it something that interrupts your day, interrupts your creativity, interrupts your ability to hear what it is you should be doing?
Or
Because
interrupts your ability to make money because you over here,
messing around with this little $5 task, $10 task, you know what I'm saying?
but you got $1,500 skills on something, but you're over here,
Distracted.
right? Because somebody said, "Ooh, this will make money. All you need to do is get 5 more people." I'm like, if y'all don't get away from me with that, do not. And I can be good at anything I choose to be good at,
Hmm.
but do I want to be good at that? You can choose to be good at anything you want, but that, like Terry says, does it make you smile? No. I remember Terry told a story about she does cover-ups, and this lady wanted a dress
It was a disaster. It was a disaster. And it took up a lot of hours.
that you could have been making cover-ups and selling,
Hmm.
trying to make one dress that was not in your.
But it's in my wheelhouse.
Mm, mm, mm. So now, and then going back to basics, also meaning that you need to recognize quality over quantity. Uh, how many times do we see this? The quality versus the quantity. Mark's comment here it says, too often people become fixated on the how. Our job is what? Once you figure that out, everything will begin to fall in place. What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Is and when you figure out your what, you're happy.
Hmm.
And it might take you a minute, because if you're still looking at somebody, I call it copying somebody else's paper, you over here looking like, oh, I wonder what's on. Oh, I like what they're doing. Let me do that. That's not you. Terry already said it. You need to do you. You need to figure out who you are, do you, and then the how will come later.
Hmm. I
Okay.
like that. Figure out the
So,
what.
yeah. So, quality over quantity. And okay, lemonade. I'm gonna go here. You can go get some real good lemonade,
Hmm.
get the lemons and squeeze them down, put a little bit of sugar and some water in there and make a really good lemonade. Or you can go and do the kind that's in the can and
Hmm.
go to any store, Walmart, um, Costco, somewhere, and buy the one that's in the can, and you take the powder and you put it in there and you mix it up. But the quality is not as good
Mm.
as taking the lemons and using the real lemons and creating the lemonade.
Okay.
One is a quick fix, and you can just buy a dime a dozen. You'll see a whole row of them on the thing. But are you giving quality?
Mm.
When I go to a restaurant, now if I go to a just some small restaurant that is not what do you call boutique, or just a small little snack style thing where you just get something quick,
Oh, a
and
greasy spoon? No, go ahead.
that, or where I want something to eat and it's just a quick snack or quick
Okay.
something. I expect the lemonade to be the powdered kind. I don't expect to get handcrafted lemonade at.
Mm. Okay, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
But if
Freshly squeezed.
Right.
Mhm.
Now, if I'm going into a restaurant that's got some high quality food and I want a high quality, I need to have some hand squeezed lemonade. Don't bring me
Mhm.
no lemonade that you went in the back and got the little, I'm not naming names, where you put the
Mhm.
powder in there and you whisk it up and pour it over. No, squeeze some lemons, put some mint in it, do something. We don't
I'm
want
laughing because
Mark.
Mark says Minute Maid is coming for you.
Well, I didn't mention no names.
No. Mhm.
Did not
Mhm.
mention names because I
You
wasn't
did.
thinking of them. I was thinking about somebody else.
I
But
was too. But
yeah, but the point is handcrafted. Do
Mhm.
the best that you can, have the best of everything, that the best that you offer your customers and clients, not the process, okay, where they can go get it everywhere else. So quality over quantity, and then personal connections. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
I
yes.
Personal connections are so needed. We are dealing with a client of mine is dealing with, when they started working with a particular vendor, they got to talk to Joe or
Mhm.
Anita or something. And now you have to talk to the chat box in the
Oh my gosh.
you have to talk to the chat box, or send a support ticket on the email, or if you really want to talk to a person, they'll set up a Zoom call for you a few weeks away from the fact that you're having a challenge and a crisis in your business that's needing to happen right now, and I need your attention right now. You can't talk to a human, because that company has grown to the point where they figure it's better that they can't talk to all the humans
Wow.
because it's taking too much time
Hmm.
to hear the requests of the client, to hear the real needs of your customer.
So basically, it's just like when they started charging you to see the teller
At the bank, yeah.
at the bank.
Instead of addressing your real needs. I have a real need. I need to talk. So sometimes whatever you do can be done by the chat bot. But some stuff, I need you to hear the inflection in my voice. I need to understand what you're saying so that I can make decisions. And if you can't talk to a human, AI will never be able to do that.
And some generations just want to talk to a human, whether they have a crisis or not.
Right.
I
Because
want
you,
a human to take my money across the counter and pass me back my money.
right. Mark says, when you call me, know that there will be no artificial sweeteners or preservatives.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Right. So, and that's and it's interesting that people are going that way. Somebody is selling that strategy to people. It's like,
Mhm.
well, put a frequently asked questions up there. No, it's not frequent. My question is not frequently asked. I
Okay,
need you to get on the phone and talk to me.
there you go.
Or if I put in an email, I need you to get back to me same day or
Hmm.
something. I don't want the bots talking to me unless the bots can answer the question succinctly. Now, there may be times when the bot can answer a simple question, but for the most part, if I'm calling, it's not in your frequently asked questions, and it is not something that the bot can take care of. I need to talk to somebody.
Here's the deal too. Sometimes I just don't want to sit there and read a dictionary to find out whether or not you have answered my question. Just answer the phone.
Right.
The question may be, are you still in business?
Uh, Correct. And so building strong relationships with the clients, the partners, and the employees. Do you take the employees? Okay, Bill, we can't talk to you today. We'll put that over on it. We don't want to become cold and unfeeling.
Oh,
And
insensitive and
well,
unresponsive,
you cannot be sensitive if you never heard what the challenge was.
and you
Because
can't
sometimes
respond if you haven't heard. Being insensitive and unresponsive is not a good look, people.
here's the thing, when people type, you can't okay, typing it into a chat requires that you have to do English 1A to be
Now I'm
able,
looking for you.
right, to be able to convey your sentiments in words and type it into the chat, only to have the chat tell you, I don't understand what you're saying. But if you were a human, and I'm going to keep saying this until it isn't a thing, T-Mobile will let you talk to a human first.
Okay.
They listen to the real needs of their customers. They were like, we don't want to talk to a bot, not when we paying this much money for a phone and service. We need to. They will let you, when you dial in, you're going to talk to a human, or at least a bot that sounds very much like a human. And respond, you can tell the response
Mhm.
is human. So build strong relationships with clients and partners, and in order to do that, you got to talk to them.
You know, when we worked for the government, we answered the phone. And because I worked in a department that dealt with people who were having challenges, the first thing we were taught was be empathetic. Start the conversation with, ma'am, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. How can I help you?
Even if you told a bot to say that, they better figure out a way to answer that, and you know,
Exactly. And sometimes they just needed to get it off their chest before you could get to the core of how you could serve them.
right. I would
And
even take a voicemail saying, "Hi, I can't speak with you right at this moment, but I'd be happy to call you back in this time, or will you call us back at this time?" I would take that over trying to figure out how to,
what, to press 4, 5, or 9?
yeah. And our last thing on how to simplify or get back to basics is to keep your operations simple.
Mm.
Streamline processes to improve efficiency. If the
Hold
person
it.
doesn't,
Can
if
simple include make it easy for me to pay you?
oh, shut up.
I'm just asking.
Yes, simplify the process to improve efficiency. Don't make people jump through hoops.
Or use processes
Business,
that they do not desire to use. We take checks, we take
we take
cash. You know,
cash,
there are actually some businesses who will not take cash. We
right?
take cash, we take Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, whatever.
To get, I will take a check. I There are still people who pay us in check, and we're like, okay, we'll just take a check.
Not a
And
problem.
I'll figure it out,
Exactly.
we'll figure out how to cast a check and do all of that. Yes, it's convenient for us if you would just use ACH or if you would just use a card, but I understand, I get it. You don't want the extra charge on the with the card, the extra
Hmm.
3% or whatever. So, fine. We will take a check. It will slow things down, but we're still getting paid.
Hmm. Hmm.
We'll just do it a little. So streamline your operations. One of the things for streamlining, can I get you, if you text this, can it get you to where I want you to go immediately, not go through one and then another place and then another place and then another place before I give you what you asked for?
And here's another thing. When you get there, will you recognize that you're where you're supposed to be?
After took all these trips and you're looking around like, what was my first question? Where am I going? Oh, I know what I wanted. Because they took you on these little iterations,
Journeys.
like, okay,
Or
don't.
will you be told in advance when you get there, you'll need to um, set up an account or open the app or that. Can we get some basic instructions for people who've never seen your stuff before?
And making it 1, 2, 3, 4,
Hmm.
right? Not okay, well, let's see.
Am I in the right place? Can I trust this site? When you get there, you'll be asked to give your name and name your account. And as with most apps, you'll be asked to create a password. And after that, you'll be sent a message to let you know that when you click here, it'll take you in.
Just give me what I clicked for.
Tell me what to expect. Fran, it's like when you walk into a store and you don't know what they're selling, or you walk through a door and you're in a department store, you walk through a door and suddenly you're in a warehouse and you're like, how did I get here?
Or
And
you're on
what
a
do I
golf
do?
wait, you're on a golf course and they don't tell you where the next hole is, and you're just sitting there like, wait, do
What
I go
direction?
left? Do I go right? And or you got to wait for the little dude in the cart to come to. I was
Pe-
like, should
People
there not
make
be a sign?
when they're setting up their systems, they make assumptions.
Yeah. Oh, everybody knows where my Walmart is.
And
No.
that's not true. And it's very difficult to convince people who are setting up stuff that it's not true.
We all know where that is. No, we all don't know. We've never been this way before. So, yeah. Mark has a comment. He says, oh, Dr. Tachi is here. Mark said, don't
Morning,
get me
Dr.
started again. Mistakenly suspended from Facebook for 4 months. No autoresponder, chatbot, AI, human receipt, case number, or anything. He
Hmm.
got nothing. So
Exactly.
this is a case for the reason why you don't put all your eggs in a Facebook basket. And the people that you normally do business with, you better know where they are, so that they know where you are and that you can communicate with them. Dr. Tachi has told us this. TJ has told us this. Don't put you need to get everybody on your database into your own list
Mhm.
away from social media. In case something go down, you know how to contact them. Dr.
Exactly.
Tachi, I'm glad you're enjoying the info. Because yeah, we came across some stuff. So simplifying and streamlining your processes will get you back to basics. If we stick with the basics,
Mm,
we won't be all over the place wobbling around on the road,
exactly.
all out of, and you won't be tired and stressed out
Mm,
because you made sure of your customers' real needs, number one. You're tracking your dollars and simplifying your finances, working on your cash flow. And number three, you understand and you have refined what you're good at. Instead of trying to expand to do some other stuff, you refine what you're good at. And you've chosen quality over quantity. And then you made personal connections with business friends. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
I can have my customers can be my friends and clients, and they want to talk to you. Ooh, because you actually talk to them.
I
And
say,
then lastly, because you've simplified your operations, you streamline the process for people to get from recognizing and discovering you to doing business with you and paying you for what you do. And this is our conversation for today, going back to basics.
we love
Woo!
you. Thank you so much for your time. We want to remind you that if you're looking to become a part of the BizChicks community, you can simply text Biz to 33777, or you can join us over at bizchicks.net. We'd love to share with our community what it is you do and how you serve.
And
So go
and
ahead.
with that, Terry, we are making a shift and going back to what we do core. So
Mm-hmm.
our first Mondays will now be first Monday workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are here to help take the hassle out of your hustle. We'll bring you workshops and trainings and things, people to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. There'll be a lot more workshops. Our networking is great, but I think helping you with things that you need to simplify your business is better. So if there's anything that you'd like to learn, put it in the chat, send us a DM, and we're going to get that party started coming up in October. We will be doing some workshops and things of that nature. And then all through the next year, we'll be doing some in-person masterminds and things of that nature as well.
Oh,
Ooh,
Mark is back.
yay! So, as always, the 5 minute mark is on all podcast platforms, YouTube and TikTok. Go, Mark. I
Well done.
love it, love it, love it. So, check Mark out at Ask Mark Ward or go to the 5 minute mark podcast. Dr. Tachi is on IndieSuitMedia .tv. I've been seeing, I see it come up, when you subscribe to something. So, I'm
Mhm.
seeing it pop up a lot. I was like, oh, ooh, so and so is on. I need to check that one out. So go check out indiesuitmedia.tv. And Mark said, I didn't add a minute. It's the 4 minute mark. Oh,
Mhm.
a
I
4 minute
thought it was, but he said
mark.
five, so
I thought, yeah, he said, I didn't add a minute. Okay, well, a minute ain't bad. It's when they do other things. Thank you for tuning in today, everybody. We will talk to you next week with coffee and conversation and more uh, great thoughts.
all right, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.